Welcome, I'm the Kaiju no Kami, and tonight I'm going to... Excuse me for a moment. Hello?
Is your refrigerator running?
Seriously? You're going for the old refrigerator joke?
Yes, I'm asking if your refrigerator's running.
Okay. Yes, my refrigerator is running.
Well, the police are currently chasing after it, so you better go catch it.
What?
So, you might want to make a report.
Well, thank you very much. I'll go there to get it now.
Good day, sir.
I think I need a new outlook on life. Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us.
Choushinsei Flashman!
What's up everyone, Kaiju no Kami here, and today I'm going to review Choushinsei Flashman. That's right. You did not hear me say Sentai in this show's title, as it is one of the few Sentai series to not have Sentai in the team name. Their name roughly translates to Supernova Flashman. Due to some production issues, Flashman premiered on March 1st of 1986 rather than in the usual February premiere slot. The show was the first for many things in Sentai, some of which I will cover as I dive deeper into the review, but to start off, this is the first series where the Rangers did not grow up on Earth, as they were abducted by aliens when they were children and taken to a cluster of planets and moons called Planet Flash. The Rangers would then come to love the inhabitants of Planet Flash, who trained them to fight an alien-conquering empire. That's called Stockholm Syndrome, folks. Damn, this show is dark and I haven't even gotten the actual meat of the material yet. Flashman is also the first show where the Rangers did not have a mentor. None of the Rangers knew what their family names were.
名字って何？知らなかったわ。地球人の名前がそんな風になっていたなんて。
And have a narrator introduce the concept of the show before the opening song.
ある日、地球から5人の子供が宇宙の果てにさらわれた。そして20年後。
Oh man, and what an incredible opening theme Takakawa Yukihide provides. Oops, sorry. Now I'm not sorry. I couldn't resist the temptation. But you know what? I had to get this song out of the way now. Here's the real opening theme. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself because I have to talk about the heroes first. The heroes. Flashman features what is hands down Hirohisa Soda's most compelling team during his entire tenure. As mentioned moments ago, the Rangers were kidnapped 20 years prior to the show's opening by a group known as the Alien Hunters who dropped them off on Planet Flash for one reason or another. It's never exactly clear why they were left in the care of the inhabitants to Planet Flash, they just were. The Rangers all grew up in dangerous surroundings that trained them to be a team of superheroes known as Flashman. Due to this kidnapping, their main motivations in life are to find their parents and get revenge on the ones that took them from their families.
俺たちはフラッシュ星人に助けられ、育ててもらった。大きくなって強くなったら地球へ帰るのだと教えられて。
This makes them an interesting lot, as there are countless tragic stories where a ranger will think they have found one of their family members only for it to be a mistake. As such, the cast is quite compelling because while they may win the battle at the end of the episode, there is that lingering thought as to whether or not they will find those they were taken away from. This concept adds so much depth to their characters that I don't even think it has ever been retread to this very day. Jin,
Red Flash!
played by Tota Terumi, is the team's leader. He is your normal Red Ranger archetype, always having to be the most positive one of the group to ensure his teammates do not wane in their desires and motivations, as if he were their oldest brother.
弱音を吐くな俺たちは一体なんで地球へ戻ってきたと思ってるんだフラッシュ生での20年間思い出せよ
He gets a lot of really great episodes to show off his prowess, especially when it comes to one of the main villains of the show, Rei Wanda. Jin's main weapon is his prism sword, which allows for some truly epic fight scenes. Kihachiro Umura does an excellent job with Dai, a man who has to hide his true feelings in order to keep his rigid persona as to not appear weak before his enemies. One of his finest moments comes about when he meets a young girl he thinks might be his younger sister. This belief strengthens his yearning to defeat the villains. Only to learn a great tragedy had occurred. There was also an episode where he met a boxer played by Ryosuke Kaizu, who would go on to become Red Mask and Mask Man, along with playing Media Magician and Dai Ranger. Being that Dai's weapons are a type of gauntlets, being trained by a boxer gave him the opportunity to improve his capabilities. In another episode, he ended up having to learn how to fight without using his eyes due to an ability a monster hit him with.
よし、特訓の開始だ。進めたい。
何の特訓だよ
決まってるじゃないか。修正士と戦うためだ。大は魚で戦う。
Fighting upside down? I've seen stranger things. 大 Hey, that's not nice. The next ranger on the team is Boone. Yasuhiro Ishiwata portrays the youngest member of the team who is extremely good at climbing walls. He is the one who yearns the most to find his family, sometimes being gullible enough to accept anyone if they open their arms up to him.
I am your father.
God, you're dumb.
He also inadvertently ends up with a girlfriend after he is first attacked by her biker gang. Boone does grow up as the series progresses and learns not to be as easy to trick. He also does get some solid moments when he ends up meeting a woman whose dead son looked a lot like him. His weapon of choice is this power ball he forms around his body. Though he tends to be the most violent ranger on the team, stabbing monsters in the eyes with his ninja stars. Yoko Nakamura's Sarah has some of the best episodes of the entire series, not to mention some of the best development of the entire team, making her my favorite member. This baton-wielding girl will kick the butts of anyone trying to attack her or her comrades without question. It does not matter if she has to rescue a little girl from a helicopter full of villains, trying to talk to a monster that has been merged into a man who declared himself to be her long-lost brother, just getting plain old pissed off for the villains making fun of her dreams for wanting to be a normal human, or even taking care of a floppy disk.
じゃあこの中の誰かの誘拐された時のことがわかるのかすごいねサラ本当にすごいもの見つけたんだね
If you make her angry, you will be seeing stars. Oh, and you never want to play tennis with her, nor Rue for that matter. Then again, I probably would watch tennis if it was this exciting. Speaking of Rue, She ends up being my least favorite of the team. There's nothing wrong with Mayumi Yoshida's performance, nor with the writing of the character herself, it's just that she ended up being a part of some of the weaker episodes of the show. Like, there's an episode where she ends up being thought of as a monster of the week's mother, and while it's kind of funny, it's also a bit stupid. Especially with how emotional she gets over the monster being killed despite only knowing it for like a day.
私のこと本当のお母さんと思ってくれたのね。ありがとう。
You don't have to be so harsh.
She also has the oddest attack ever, which is just a pair of prism boots that allow her to hop and kick the enemies really hard. Seriously, I wanted her to click her heels together and say there is no place like home. Aside from their main weapons I already talked about, they have small guns and a big set of guns that can merge to form rolling cannon to destroy the monsters with. It's pretty much standard fare, though colorful. The bikes they have are pretty cool looking, and I do like the designs of their suits and helmets. They do get an upgrade later on, though it isn't a physical one, so you can't see any difference in the suits and weapons. I guess this was Toei's way of still being able to utilize stock footage from the earlier parts of the series, like they did with Bioman. They do have a robot assistant from Planet Flash named Mog. Man, Alpha's really let himself go, hasn't he? Most of Mog's time is spent inside Round Base, which isn't exactly round. There, he manages the team's character shields to ensure they never lose and always discover what they need to do in order to be successful. Actually, that isn't entirely true, as the team does not always win, something that seemed to be a rarity for the 80s. Sometimes it even feels like the Rangers just barely win by a thread. There are a few others who help the Rangers throughout the show. The first and most important is the Tokimura family. During the show's first quarter, we meet this family who is suffering as their youngest son was abducted by aliens 20 years prior, leading both the family and the Rangers to believe one of them may be their child.
ということは、この人は俺の父さんかも。いや、俺の親父かも。いや、俺のパパ。そしてママと妹たち。
Dr. Tokimura was so intent on finding his child that he managed to build a time machine that he attempted to use to at least remember what their son looked like. They continuously appear throughout the show to help out the Rangers when necessary, and the plot continues to develop as to who their missing child is, with a shocking revelation in the end. Their plight adds to the tragic backstory of the Rangers and brings a light of hope along their journey. Oh, and sometimes they tend to get kidnapped.
お姉ちゃんもそう思う？私もよ。行こう。
Mini golf clap. Another ally is a former villain turned good named Ray Baraki. Planet Flash's original savior, Hero Titan, sacrificed himself in order to save Baraki, which led Baraki to Earth to assist Flashman with a new mech and a warning about a weakness in their abilities that lingers on in the minds of the Rangers for the rest of the series.
フラッシュタイタンをお前たちに渡さねばならん。
Is your power failing you? Are you suffering from premature untransformation? If your answer is yes, you need to try the new powerful enhancing pill, Power G. It will give you power and energy like you have never felt before. Make your villains cringe at the amount of power and energy you will have.
パワーが戻ったぞ。なぜこれで戦えるぜ。よし。
Power G from the makers of Incest Away body spray.
If power lasts longer than your battle, please see a doctor. Not FDA approved. They're shut down after all. The villains. The villains of the show are called the Mutation Experiment Empire Mess. Wait, Mess? They're called Mess? I need a ranger on aisle 6. You have to clean up a mess. The leader of Mess is probably the...
Hello? That's not funny!
Okay. I'm done. Back to being serious. The leader of Mess is probably the most badass looking Sentai villain ever, Emperor Raditz. Unfortunately, as menacing as Raditz is, he is on par with your normal Sentai villain leader of the time, as he doesn't do much of anything until the last few episodes of the series. Which is a shame because those last minutes give him an interesting backstory that could have really been utilized throughout the entire series. Granted, it's nowhere near as mind-blowing as other backstories in the show's history, but for what it is, I like it.
我が改造実験帝国メスはこれまで数々の星で生命改造実験を繰り返してきた。だが未だ満足できる成果は得られなかった。
Raditz is voiced by the recently deceased Unsho Ishizuka, who was the second Mr. Satan in Dragon Ball and Joseph Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
私は一体いつになったらフラッシュマンを倒すことができるのだ。お前たちがフラッシュマンに負けてばかりいるゆえ。
His second in command is his chief scientist, Grand Dr. Ray Keflin. Like with Raditz, the bulk of his development is right at the end, leaving me unable to discuss it too without major plot spoilers. I will say that I like the revelation as it fits quite well with why he was played by a human actor. Keflin's job is to combine the DNA of various creatures in order to create new monsters as they attempt to make the ultimate being. I love that he performs these experiments through what appears to be a keyboard. Mess's lead generals were created by Keflin. These generals include the amalgamation of 5 space creatures known as Rewanda, the cheetah-like Ray Nefer, a mindless beast known as Ray Gares, and 2 warriors that take on the traits of a wolf and a cat, known as Woke and Kilt. Those of you who have seen other Sentai shows may recognize Wanda's actor Yutaka Hirose, for he was Jin in Die Ranger, Thranza in Jetman, and Dr. Kenpu in Live Men. In addition to that, Nefer's actress, Sayako Hagiwara, was Dinah Pink in Dynaman. They may not be the most developed generals in Sentai history, but the fact that they are part of the Empire who kidnapped the Rangers does add a personal touch on their relationship, as they are the reasons the Rangers have no idea who they really are. Not to mention they are so evil that in one episode, they don't even give the Rangers time to transform. What's even more intriguing is that some of them had no idea they were Keflin's experiments until it was outright stated, as was the case when Rewanda thought he had gained some immense spiritual power before learning it was due to the critters used to produce him. Nefer also views Keflin as her father, and she occasionally likes to cosplay as Alex from A Clockwork Orange. We also get to see Kilt and Woke in civilian clothes every now and then, which is also cool. Regrettably, there was only one time Wanda disguised himself as a human. Halfway through the show, Raditz gets pissed off at their failures and threatens to destroy them until Keflin intervenes, offering them upgrades. These upgrades give Garis powers to burn things, Nefer the ability to create illusions, and Wanda the powers to freeze time for a few seconds. What? What? In addition to them, the group of alien hunters who kidnap the Rangers come to Earth to help mess out. They are led by Sir Collar, played by anime superstar and live man villain Joji Nakata.
You must whip it. Now whip it into shape. Shape it up.
Color continuously loves to tease the Rangers with the knowledge of who their families are without actually revealing their identities to them. As Flashman progresses, we come to learn that there's a lot of bad blood between Collar and Kefren. His second in command, a warrior named Bull Golden, arrives to assist him towards the very end of the show. Yoshinori Okamoto portrays Golden, who was Booba in Changeman and Dr. Ashura in Liveman. The foot soldiers are these red, beady, bug-like creatures known as Zoros.
Two-sword style? Flash!
Wrong type of Zoro. Still wrong.
For the royalty!
There you go. They're kind of terrifying, despite not really doing anything impressive.
It's been done.
Lastly, of course, there's the Monsters of the Week, who are known simply as Beast Warriors. They are a bunch of creatures made from the DNA of various animals and fish found on our planet, with names that start with the. Some of them look cool, such as the Jirago, the Ghostero, a tick-like monster that gives his best cell impersonation, to these, yeah. I'll let this clip speak for me.
Just when I think these monsters can't get any weirder.
When each monster is defeated, a tentacle UFO-looking critter known as Krogan flies by to make them grow, which causes itself to shrink. It's kind of a cool concept, and I do like that there are a couple of times where Krogan is not used. The Mecha. Flashman is the first series to give the Rangers 2 mechs to use. The first mech, compiled of a tank and 2 jets, is Flash King. There's nothing really special about Flash King, unless you count having a single cockpit when combined as special, but he works for what he is. The color scheme is quite striking in its uniformity, though I do feel like he is just a blue variant of Bio-Robo with a new head. Shortly into the show's second quarter, Flash King is damaged so badly he is out of action for the next several episodes. Thank the gods for Baraki's coincidental, well-timed arrival with a semi-truck christened Flash Titan. Actually, Baraki does explain this. The automatic sensors picked up that the Rangers were in trouble, and so it delivered itself to the Rangers. Baraki was asleep at the time. Way to go, dude. You were asleep on the job. Congratulations. Flash Titan has 2 arrangements. The first of which is the truck's cab that transforms into the robot Titan Boy. You're probably thinking of Optimus Prime right now.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Well, you're wrong. What you should be thinking is Power Master Optimus Prime. That's right! The trailer transforms into a bigger body that Titan Boy connects with to form the ultimate, most badass Great Titan. On second thought, it's not all that impressive. The mech fights are kind of your standard fare for 80s Sentai, yet I never found myself bored by them. While there were a couple of repetitive fights, the dynamic of having two different mecha that alternate between episodes kept things exciting. It also helps that not every episode had a mech fight. Surprisingly, Flash King isn't even revealed until the second episode, which I think is a first for Sentai at that time, at least for those that had mecha. The effects and music. More often than not, the effects work is a hit more than a miss, though there are some bad effects that seem pretty bad compared to what else was being done at the time. On the other hand, the music is always energetic and ass-kicking. Like, there are some really bad blue screen effects, especially when it comes to ranger attacks. I have no idea what happened in this scene here. It's pretty bad. Regardless, the show's entertainment value keeps you distracted away from most of the poor effects, so they are easy to ignore. Of course, that is not to say all the effects are bad, as there are some damn good ones too. The camera work is absolutely stunning. There is one truly epic moment where the Rangers are riding their bikes and the camera appears to be positioned on Yellow Flash's bike. Then we have another one that seems to be running down this alleyway. Almost every episode had something impressive when it came to its fight scenes. Add on top some incredible fight choreography, such as this nighttime battle between Red Flash and his Beast Warrior clone. This sunset battle between Cowler and Red Flash. And you have yourselves an immense spectacle to behold.
Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain, what a glory.
There were so many top-notch battle scenes that I wish I could show you them all without having to worry about infringing on copyright issues. As I already stated, even the score was equally epic. Anime fans may recognize Kohei Tanaka's work in various series such as G Gundam and One Piece. Either way, Tanaka outdid himself with the show's score. There was this little number that felt really intense thanks to the strings played during it. I wish more of that was done in the show. In addition, there was also this bit that sounded like something you would hear in a Metroid game. Even Yukihide's ending theme fighting pulse is an impressive number. You can flash. Though, it fails to ease me out of the show's mood, as I still can't get the theme song and fight scenes out of my head. Of course, why would you want to forget about the epic opening? The episodes. Flashman has so many incredible episodes that it was hard to really pick just one as a favorite. Nevertheless, I narrowed it down to the one that I felt like broke the formula the most.
It is the episode titled The Human Mini Plan. In the episode before it, Collar came to Earth and his Beast Warriors disarmed Flash King.
Literally.
As such, Flash King has been knocked out of action until it can be repaired, leaving the Rangers with no way to fight a giant monster. Meanwhile, Collar and his alien hunters start tracking down children to kidnap once more, which leads the Rangers to witness them chasing a little girl across an airport runway. I'm not sure which I like more, watching Collar chase a little girl with a helicopter, or the fact that this little girl is able to outrun her alien hunter pursuers. Either way, it leads to Sarah and the girl getting shrunk inside of one of Collar's prison capsules, and they end up in the stomach of a fish. As the show commences, the duo manages to escape, but because Flash King is broken, the Rangers can't risk destroying the monster.
ダメだ。どんな方法であれ、いくらズコンダを倒しても敵には再生巨大化する力がある。殺さずにズコンダを倒す、そんな方法があるのか。
So what do they do in this case? This. God damn!
Not only do we not get a mech battle in this one, but we don't even get the monster of the week actually being destroyed by normal means.
Like I said, a Sentai episode is completely different from the norm.
As for my least favorite episode, that goes to space pumpkin cooking.
Oh, where do I begin?
Well, it does have an interesting concept that could have worked had this not been the super serious mess empire. The villains open up a restaurant and feed people food on these green pumpkins, the ugliest monster of the week ever created, as it enhances the taste to everything. All I wanted to see this entire episode was Gordon Ramsay barge in the kitchen and start screaming at everyone.
If you think I'm serving that, you're dreaming. 2 portions of quail! How stupid does that look? You 1 portion short, you fucking donut!
Heather's trying to make herself look good, and that just fucked me all up.
Rue and a mother accidentally discover the devious plot, which leads to Chef Collar fighting the Rangers.
It's hilariously stupid.
Now don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near the worst episode of a Sentai series I have ever seen, as it does have some grand moments of hilarity. I just felt like it was out of place for a somber show like Flashman. It's also rather dumb. The same could be said about the episode when Rue becomes the mother of a newborn Beast Warrior I mentioned earlier in the review. Although, there were comedy moments that did work, such as this one time when the Rangers used a monster's own wish ability to put him to sleep. Nevertheless, Flashman is a rare gem when it comes to its episodes, as they are fun and energetic despite the dark and serious themes. I truly feel like this was Soda's peak when it came to quality, because I rarely, if ever, found myself bored.
Fuck off you fat useless sack of fucking Yankee danky doodle shite.
The movies.
Like Changeman, Flashman has 2 theatrical films. Unlike Changeman though, one of those theatrical films is just basically a bunch of episodes from Baraki's story edited into one movie that was also released after the show had already finished airing. No idea why they did it that way, but they did.
The first movie, however, is a new story. Like many of these Sentai movies, it feels like it was a rejected TV script. I'm not sure why, but it always feels like these movies were not good enough to be regular episodes. It features Matt stealing a bunch of animals from a children's animal shelter to use in their experiments. This leads to them creating a fearsome beast warrior who ends up being afraid of a little dog. It turns out this is due to its mother being used in the mixture to create the vicious beast.
Hold up. Its name is Poochie? Well, now. You just opened up a can of worms.
The name's Poochie D, and I rock the telly. I'm half Joe Camel and a third Bonzarelli. I'm the Kung Fu hippie from Gangster City. I'm a rapping surfer, you the fool I pity.
The movie is quite uninspiring, especially compared to what the show was doing even in its early episodes. I did like this scene though when Dai just goes flying through some family's walls. Did he just grab some of their food? You thief! I do like the design of the monster. Finally, there is also a cool momentary train sequence. Flashman is hands down the best Sentai show I have seen from Soda's era. It's fun, it's serious, it can get damn well dark at times, and it has a great ranger and villain cast to boot. As such, I am giving Flashman an impressive 5 out of 5 grown-ups in spandex. If you have never seen Flashman, you definitely have to check this one out. Of course, the one issue comes from the fact that only half of the show has been subtitled. So you need to ask yourself, do you really want to watch a show that is half subbed, half raw? I can't give you the answer. That's a choice you have to make. Either way, I hope Show Factory does indeed release this one at some point, as it is definitely a must-buy.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Until next time, bye.